What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunched Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder and Malik Scott. Get this. Malik Scott, the trainer of Deontay Wilder, says that Dillian Whyte is a tougher fight for Wilder than Anthony Joshua. Wow. He said Anthony Joshua or Alexander Usyk is next after Fury, although Scott insists Wilder's next target will be for the undisputed fight with AJ versus Usyk winner. He admitted that another Brit could be more difficult to challenge. Now, get this. He said, when asked who is tougher stylistically out of Joshua or Whyte, Scott said, Whyte, in my opinion, because he's more deceiving. His height appears shorter than his actual height really is, and his best and hardest punch really is his left jab or hook. His arms are longer than they appear, and they hang down almost to his knees. So when you think you're out of range of his height, it's tricky because you're still in arm's reach of him because of his long arm length. And his power comes from his bulk like strength, not from the correction of his punches. Regardless, Scott is still confident that his man would ultimately come out on top. Wow. Okay. Let me stop there for a minute. Now, let me counterpunch. I think Malik Scott has always known that Whyte could be a problem for Deontay Wilder. I think a lot of what he said, it's a good assessment because of a lot of what Malik Scott said was right. You look at Dillian Whyte, he doesn't appear that tall, but he is. In fact, him and Joshua are not that. In other words, Deontay Wilder and Dillian Whyte are not that different in height. Okay, guys like Malik Scott, Dean White, which is 6'5", 6'6", he looks at someone like Deontay Wilder eye to eye. And Dillian Whyte is just like a tad up under him. He's not that much taller than his brother, okay? And you look at him, he does have long arms. And Whyte does have a fast jab. He can get that jab out there, and his hook is very deadly. I think Malik Scott, his concern on the style is because Dillian Whyte does not fear Deontay Wilder. And I think Malik Scott knows that, because any guy that knows Deontay Wilder and seen what Deontay Wilder doesn't like, if you notice that in his last fight with Tyson Fury in the rematch or his first fight with Luis Ortiz, all you have to do is press him and he is no good. Okay, so the Wilder we known before was a guy that all you needed to do is get him going backwards, force him back. He is no good. He can't fight off his back foot. Okay, I don't know if he's learned to do that with Malik Scott or not. That remains to be seen. But normally, someone like Wilder, he covers up and he takes whatever you give him. Okay, but one thing he doesn't really do, he doesn't fight back. He might throw a right hook in there if he has enough length. Remember, he has also long arms. So when you have him pressured backwards, that's not his strong point. His strong point is to keep enough distance between you and him so he can hit you with that classic signature right hand to put you out. That's what Wilder wants to do. And normally he measures that with his jab. He's a very simple fighter. Like people say, one-dimensional, like Lennox Lewis said last week. Well, he's that. Okay, or he was that. I don't know what he is now. I don't know what Malik Scott has fine-tuned or teached him new, but that's him. Okay, that's his strategy. He wants you back so he can hit you with that right hand. Hey, give me some room so I can jam you. Okay, that's Wilder. Dillian Whyte fights. He'll fight you up close. I watched a Dillian Whyte fight Robert Helenius, the Nightmare. And I noticed most of that fight, he fought Robert Helenius at his chest on the inside. That's how he should fight Wilder if he's going to fight Wilder. Okay. There's more though. Let me add. This is also what he said. He said Whyte is just dangerous for anyone. But what makes him vulnerable for Wilder is he's very front foot heavy. And I think being under 6'3" inches going against any powerful puncher, especially Deontay Wilder, is a recipe for disaster. Okay, he said with AJ's a little different. I won't talk about that. That's another video. Anyway, matter of fact, no, I will. He said it's a little different because since his loss to Ruiz, he's added more to his game with hand positioning, controlling his distance. But he's a bigger target to hit, and by him being better fundamentally, that makes him more vulnerable stylistically to get clipped by Deontay Wilder. Okay, now, him being under 6'3", Dillian Whyte's not 6'3". Okay, he's not 6'3" inches. You know what I mean? Like, that's not him. He's taller than that. So I don't know. But he is not 6'3", unless he knows something that I don't. But he is not. I don't think he's 6'3". He's like 6'4". If anything, he's about 6'4", 4 inches. But he is right though. Whyte is front foot heavy. Whyte will swing, and if he hits you with those heavy punches, he can do damage. But if he misses, as you notice, he's all over the place. He's off balance, okay? And then that's bad for somebody like Wilder because Wilder's a little bit more nimble, even though Wilder might swing looking like Oliver Twist, you know, but that's just Wilder because he's wild, okay? So, but Whyte, he's top heavy. He's got a lot bigger over the years, okay, versus how he was when he started, like we mentioned, Helenius. He was a lot smaller in the Helenius fight. So I think he could do more. I think he needs to really lose more weight, but I think he wants to add on those pounds so he can catch you with that heavy baggage that he's put on, okay? But he is front foot heavy. Now with AJ, he says he's a little different. Ever since the loss, he's added more to his game with hand positioning, but he's a bigger target to hit, and him being better fundamentally, that makes him more vulnerable stylistically. Well, I think he will be, but here's the thing. Malik Scott has a point with Joshua because let's say they do fight. Joshua, probably of old, would probably be a much more dangerous fighter than Joshua now. Not saying Joshua can't attack. Joshua just takes more time to size you up. It's like he's downloading data, kind of like, you know, Lomachenko on a different scale. But what he does, he wants to figure you out to see what he can do. Doing that with someone like Deontay Wilder is very dangerous because see, you don't figure Wilder out. Wilder is already figured out. Okay, Wilder is a guy that he's coming in, he's gonna hit you with that right hand, and you're gonna say goodnight, or you're gonna hit the snooze button. You're gonna hit the snooze button when he hits you. So when him trying to take his time with his hands up, that could be wrong, and that could be a big mistake for Anthony Joshua. Because if you know anything about Wilder, he needs the distance to throw his punch. If he doesn't have that, I don't think he's comfortable. And as a matter of fact, I'll say more than that. I don't think he is effective at all. Okay, so fighting someone like Wilder, you know, pressing the issue is the best thing. Go in there and beat him up. And I think Dillian Whyte is a better fight for Deontay Wilder, specifically for the fact that Dillian Whyte's going to go in there looking for a knockout. It's going to be Ortiz Wilder 1, round 7. But for him, going to be round 1. He's going to be doing what Ortiz did. So I think at the end of the day, I think that Whyte is a dangerous fighter, and I think he's just as dangerous as Joshua because I'm not convinced that Deontay Wilder is tough like people thought he was. You know, because we haven't seen him since February. He got hit with some shots. No, I don't believe the glove shit. So I think he can be hurt like any other fighter. It's just you have to catch him right. He was hurt in the Ortiz fight with a right hook. We know Ortiz has a heavy right hook, and Wilder said the man couldn't punch after that, okay, in the press conference, as you guys heard. So, no, I think that he can be hurt. I think any heavyweight can be hurt. I think Deontay Wilder can knock anybody out if he catches them right, but that goes for everyone else. Okay, so these guys are dealing with very dangerous weapons in the heavyweight division. I'm not sure if Dillian Whyte's a more dangerous person. He might be because of his aggression, right? But saying that he's a tougher opponent, who knows? We just have to really wait and see. But I know Dillian Whyte would go right for Deontay Wilder, and that is something that I would love to see because I want to see who does what to who. Anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Malik Scott saying that Dillian Whyte is a tougher fight for Deontay Wilder than Anthony Joshua. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.